Alright, so here's my marine lightweight rucksack setup. This isn't really something that's talked about or just really discussed in general. Um, a lot of people say that having a lightweight rucksack is far be for Marines. However, I would disagree. I've done a lot of research with Operation Dewey Canyon alongside with Operation Kentucky, and you do see these things floating around. It isn't as common as the Arvin rucksack or even the M41, of course, but you do see these around. I would say this would be a great dirt place for the two. Um, anyways, so you do see these floating around outside of those two conflicts. The thing is about Operation Kentucky and Dewey Canyon is that a lot of the photos are blurry, and a lot of the time you do see the lightweight rucksack frame, but you don't see what they're carrying. So that's honestly the negative of, that's what sucks and what's really hard about finding um, what they would carry on their lightweights. However, this setup is just something that I've come up with multiple photos. This is primarily based on a single photo. However, I've used different setups and just different photos in general just to get a pretty great, I guess, reference for you guys if you ever want to use this kind of setup and so on and so forth. On a side note, I have seen guys use a lightweight rucksack pack, and I have seen guys usually just put them in the middle of the frame. You guys could do that, but I did want to make this look a little bit more marine and just kind of a unique setup in general. But I'm gonna go ahead and go over everything I have on, and we'll go from there. So on the top, I have a poncho rolled up. I have two bootstraps just on the sides, just to keep the thing from, I guess, being really opened and just kind of flopping around. I have seen an Army guy do this, but it could be, I guess, considered Farby. Let me know if it looks stupid or not. I might remove it. On the side, I have a first aid pouch, pretty minty. I believe it's a second pattern. I don't really want to touch this lightweight too much because it might fall over. Honestly, the shovel is the only thing keeping this thing standing. But take my word for it, it's a second pattern, a light first aid pouch. On the side right here, I have a C-Rat sock attached with the shelter aft strap. So this is something I've seen in, I believe, Operation Kentucky, and those guys, they pretty much had huge ass C-Rat socks. Like, these things went all the way to their knees pretty much, and some of these guys actually had 3 of them. I put 2 on each side, but the guy that I kind of copied this somewhat setup from had another one on this top half with the I guess shelter half strap. And pretty much, to my assumption, guys would just stock up on canteens and C-Rat socks because their haversacks, can't really hold that much equipment. But that specific guy, he didn't have a lightweight, but I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, this is, like I said, this is a collage of different setups, different gear, and this kind of, it's its own thing, I suppose. But I have a smoke grenade on the side. It's pretty snug on there. It's not really going anywhere. Pretty happy about that. I thought it was going to fly off, and, that'd be pretty shitty. Pretty much right underneath it is a machete. This is a Rothko machete, but it looks really similar to the World War II styled one, so that's just something I have on. This is an M43 shovel, as I'm pretty sure most of you guys know. This is a World War II dated one. However, I will be purchasing a Vietnam dated one sometime in the future, and that'll be pretty cool to have. EDRL, I believe it's EDRL. It might be, I said it wrong in one of my videos, so hopefully it's EDRL. I get mixed up. But this is just a poncho liner tucked underneath it. Very common practice with the Marines, and it overall looks pretty cool. What else? 2 canteens on the bottom. Again, this is based off of my main reference for this setup. Pretty much what the guy had was, he had a shelter half, not shelter half, but he had a poncho on top. He had his haversack, and then 2 canteens. That's honestly all I could see in the photo because everything else was out of view. But I pretty much took that and then added my own, not really my own mix, just other different setups to that. So just to make something somewhat unique, I suppose. So yeah, 2 canteens, first pattern, second pattern with the nylon trim. Somewhat underneath that is 2 or 3 shelter half pegs, and then again underneath that is a signal flare kind of tucked in between everything. What else? And I guess on this side, again, I have a sea rat sock right here, just chilling. On the back, I guess I'll show my setup. You know, that's kind of how I attached everything. Same, honestly, kind of the same setup as my tropical rucksack. I do have a what's it called, a waist strap somewhere in here. It's right there, actually. These things are pretty rare and they're really hard to find with lightweights. But anyways, you do see these lightweights kind of spread out through Vietnam. You see them in Hue City, and you know, my my space is gonna come out. Shit, my space is gonna run out right now. So anyways, you see these in multiple conflicts, so on and so forth. Just kind of sprinkled throughout different photos. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry for the brief stop, but I'll catch you guys later.